Alright guys, welcome back to another operaomnia video where we are going to be covering both Strago and Ashe. Strago is going to be getting his LD boards while Ashe is going to be getting a rework, and she will be receiving her LD weapon alongside with her alternate costume that you are seeing on the screen right now. We're going to be mainly focusing on Ashe and why I feel like if you do have the extra resources, she would not be a bad pickup for a couple of reasons. So, as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future operaomnia content. And of course, do let me know in the comment section below what are your guys' plans for the upcoming banner alongside with the release of Strago's Lost Chapter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about both Strago and Ashe's upcoming release. So first we're going to talk about Strago's LD boards and what he got with it. So he got an increase in max brave. He also got an increase in brave hits with his LD ability, with an increase in brave potency by a tremendous amount. Also, he grants himself a buff called the Descendant of the Magi for 6 actions. He also gets an added effect to the Descendant of the Magi buff, which extends the base duration of the buffs granted by himself by 1 action. It also adds the following effect to the Soul of the Master buff, which gives him an improvement to the attack up effect from that buff by 50%. Also, they gave him an increase, they gave him a brave damage delta up and an HP damage delta up, so he will be able to deal more brave hits, brave hit damage, and will get an increase in HP damage up, which is good. And the stolen overflow limit up was also increased on him as well. Now for his LD call, he will do his regular LD ability. For his special effects, his LD call effects, which will last for 6 actions, the caller will get a 40% attack up and a stolen brave max brave overflow limit up by 20%. Now with Ashe's rework, she actually didn't get too much with her rework. Her skill 1 basically got an increase in brave hits and now does 50% splash damage, and her skill 2, all it got was 50% splash damage, and that's it. Now for her LD ability is an 8-hit AoE Thunder Holy Magic Brave plus an AoE HP attack that does deal full HP damage. It does inflict the Thunder Holy Resist Down debuff to all targets for 4 actions, and it does grant her the Noble Oath buff to herself for 3 actions. Afterwards, it does turn her HP attack into HP attack Queen's Order after you use her LD ability. Now, before we get into what that does, the buff Noble Order to herself, she does give herself an HP damage delta. She also inflicts the Thunder Holy Resist down to the target for 4 actions on whatever type of attack that she does. So her skill 1, her skill 2, her LD, even her regular attack after you use her HP Queen's Order ability. She will always constantly do that Thunder Holy Resist down to make sure that everybody in the party is going to be doing that weakness damage because of that enchantment that she is doing, because of this Noble Oath, which I'm about to get to here right now actually. To the party, because of Noble Oath, the party gets an overflow limit up and an elemental weakness damage up as well, and HP regen, and the enchantment of Thunder and Holy. Now the Queen's Order is a brave damage delta up and an HP damage delta up and a stolen brave max brave overflow limit up. Now the HP attack Queen's Order, basically what that is, it's something similar to what Onion Knight does, except that it doesn't give a free ability use to your party mates. What it does is that it actually maxes out the EX recast gauge so that your teammates can have their EX ready to use on their following turn, and she actually brings their turns in front of Ashe. So once Ashe uses that ability, her turn is over and then your teammates will be next. So it's very similar to what Onion Knight's LD ability does, except that instead of the free turn, she is basically charging up your their EX abilities to be ready to be used. So her HP attack, Queen's Order, is a 5-hit melee brave plus an HP attack. It does deal splash damage, which is a good thing. It does not initiate chase sequence, and then it changes back into its HP attack after you are done using it. Her LD Call will do her LD ability, and the special effects, which last for 6 actions. The party will receive the Elemental Weakness damage up, Stolen Brave Max Brave Overflow limit up, HP regen, and enchant Thunder/Holy effects from her LD Call. Her 7-star armor will give the party an increase in Brave damage cap up, and to herself she will receive a max Brave cap up. And then if you want to fully realize her 7-star armor into the 8-star armor, then the party will receive a Brave damage cap up by 15% and a max Brave cap up by 10%, and then to herself she will get a max Brave cap up of 20%. So now we get to the point of the video. Should you pull for any of these 2 characters in the upcoming banner? Now, for Strago, let's start off with Strago. So for Strago, if you're needing a magical DPS type of character, a character who is able to break all enemies, who is able to basically reset their break status if they are already broken, who is able to do some strong AoE damage, if you are able to take advantage and time his abilities well with his C65 so that you are able to do multiple HP dumps, since his C65 gives him the ability to be able to do his abilities twice in one turn, then you got yourself a pretty solid magical DPS character. And he recently got his crystal level 90 in JP Operaomnia, and he has become a beast. Like I tell you, he has become a monster magical DPS type of character. So he is definitely a future investment. Now, if you have gotten him already when his event first came out, then you are good to go. You ain't got to worry about him. But if you are needing a magical DPS, he's not a bad option to pick up if you do have the extra resources. But if you are saving for something else, then he will come back in the future. So there is nothing to worry about if you are still waiting for other characters here in the next couple of weeks. Now for Ashe, Ashe is overall a very good utility character in my opinion. The fact that she is now able to enchant/impel is a very good option, and I was looking through a lot of the Lufenias that are coming up to global for like the next couple of months, and I was trying to see if there was any that would actually hurt Ashe if you were to bring her as an LD call or if you were to bring her in team comps, and I've only seen one Lufenia fight that would actually hurt her because they are resistant to any type of impel, so she would not do too hot in that fight. And that's about it. All these other fights, she would actually be pretty helpful to bring her along, whether it be as an LD call or into team comps. Either ways, the fact that you are able to not only have that option for impel/enchant, but also to be able to instantly give your teammates the ability to use their EX immediately and bring them up in front of Ashe, or basically behind of Ashe, after she is done with her turn, can help you out in some tight situations. Now, it's not always gonna help you out in some situations, of course. I mean, you always gotta time it, I mean, sometimes it can be useful, sometimes you can actually take advantage of it if you know that say EX ability can actually do more damage, or if you wanted to use an EX ability that could help you out in whatever type of strategy that you are wanting to do, and Ashe could actually benefit you with it, then that would actually help you out as well. The team comp that I used in this video with our Strago and Queen, once you use her EX ability, she goes all Psychomaniac. The thing is though, like with Queen, after you use her EX, like she does some crazy damage, as you have probably been watching in this gameplay. So that's why I decided to bring her, because I wanted to show an example that if I can give if I can take advantage of what Ashe is doing with her LD ability and then using the Queen's Order on Queen, and I will have a much faster time, or easier time, faster and easier time of me having access to Queen's EX ability and taking advantage of all that beautiful damage that is in Queen's EX ability. So it's just like things like that you have to think about, and especially Ashe is definitely helpful for those for units that have that slow EX recast speed. Like characters like that could benefit from Ashe as well. But you know, it's again, like, it's not necessary to have. If you do have other Imperilers / Enchanters right now, any Holy or Thunder ones, you could probably pass up on Ashe. Ashe is definitely not necessary right now in the game. She does come back with the Zac LD banner, if I'm not mistaken. So you have another opportunity in the future, if you decide to pass up on her, to pick up her LD weapon. So, but overall though, when I grabbed Ashe's LD when it first came to the JP side, I was very much satisfied, and I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed using her as a character. And then having another LD call that had Imperil / Enchant for 6 actions, it's actually pretty helpful, you know, and it does come in handy from time to time. So, but overall, I mean, like, for both of these characters, you know, they're optional. They're not necessary. They're not like characters that you really need, but they are there if you actually need them. But other than that though, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you guys are planning to do for these 2 characters in the upcoming Strago's Lost chapter. And of course, if you guys did enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future operaomnia content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video.